Believe it or not, I'm here to talk good about MicroStrategy. Not so much about good based off my personal opinion, but it's this article. And I found this article to be super interesting, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I really hope that I earn your thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you feel like we earned it. Now, a lot of you guys, if you're familiar with my channel, I do believe, in my personal opinion, MicroStrategy is overhyped up and overvalued due to the Bitcoin craze. With that being said, there's MicroStrategy's Nasdaq debut could trigger a $2.1 billion ETF buying spree. For those that do not know, is that MicroStrategy, which is MSTR, that's publicly traded in the stock market, has had an insane run for 2024. From lows of $13 to highs of 200, retracements down to 100, and then the overall breakout that broke above 200 and hit highs of 543. So I actually started shorting MicroStrategy when it was at highs of around 500. It's sold off and it's been finding a pretty solid support right around 350 per share with a common resistance range of 400. But there's this talk about it being included in the Nasdaq, and this would be huge. I don't care about my personal opinion about MicroStrategy. A lot of you guys know that if you've watched my videos, I short MicroStrategy intraday. I don't carry the short overnight because I know MicroStrategy is incredibly trendy. And if Bitcoin all of a sudden skyrockets, then so will MicroStrategy. So to mitigate my risk, I close it out daily. I don't have an open short when it comes down to this as of right now, but I want to see how the market reacts and if it is actually included in the Nasdaq index. So a significant shift could be coming to the Nasdaq 100 index. So according to these analysts, they are saying that they broke down the numbers on Thursday, projecting that MicroStrategy's inclusion would make it the 40th largest holding in the index with an estimated 0.47 weighting. So again, Nasdaq is a basket of companies, right? Nasdaq 100 is what it's considered. Some of the most valuable companies that are publicly traded are within that Nasdaq 100, very similar to the S&P 500, right? This would mean that its exposure within that basket would be about 0.5%, is pretty much what this article is saying. And an official announcement is expected on December 13th. So this is where I think it's going to be very crucial to pay attention. As of right now, we're seeing a lot of momentum on its way up. December 13th, which is in just 2 days, this is going to be Friday, with the implementation scheduled for the following week, the analysts notice. So claims that at least $2.1 billion in shares by ETF would follow the inclusion. Adding this represents an additional 20% of daily volume, according to a shared note. The analyst also said that MicroStrategy's inclusion to the S&P 500 is challenging, again, a little bit more of kind of requirements, due to the profitability requirements. Upcoming Bitcoin accounting changes could open the door by 2025. So again, for the S&P 500 inclusion, maybe in 2025, but as of right now, the kind of like road is heading towards Nasdaq 100, stepping stones, right? And we should know, hopefully, by December 13th. That's going to be this Friday. We should know if MicroStrategy is going to be included, and there's talks about SMCI possibly being removed. This would be huge for SMCI because it's just another nail in the coffin of it being an overhyped up, shitty or unwell, just a bad ran company, right? A lot of people went into its defense in today's earlier video. I was bagging on SMCI. Sure. It's down 5.5%. It's been a strong descending pattern since highs of 120. You guys can go back to my previous videos. I made videos when it was trading at 120, 110 per share before the stock split, and I called it an overhyped AI piece of shit company. Then it came out that there was accounting issues going on. They were being investigated. And then that's where the downfall pretty much began. Lower highs, lower lows. It's a strong descending pattern. Your opinions do not matter. My opinion does not matter. The price action is what matters. And that speaks for itself. It rips and then it dips and it crashes. It rips, it becomes overbought, and there's huge pullback potential. So I kind of was expecting the same thing with MicroStrategy because I do think it's overhyped up. But if good news continues to be shared and the sentiment is bullish, then it doesn't matter what I think or what I hope for, or hey, MicroStrategy shouldn't be trading here. I 100% understand that. Momentum is in its favor. This news could be in its favor, but that's if it is true. If it's not true, that'd actually be very interesting to see if MicroStrategy reacts in a negative way. And as long as Bitcoin holds around 100,000, then this should be good for MicroStrategy. If Bitcoin begins to drop below 90,000, it should be very bad for MicroStrategy. But don't worry, again, we're here to talk about all of the good news and all of the bad news. And yeah, I mean, that's really just it. I hope that for all those that are super bullish on MicroStrategy, make a ton of money, that you do your part in taking profits at overbought levels when you see that to be fit. But some people are just, they think that this thing is going to go to the moon. I just feel very bad because the same thing was said about SMCI. The same thing was said about GameStop. It almost just seems like, they're delusional. This company has experienced a huge return. The PE ratios are absolutely insane. And it's all dependent on the bullish sentiment of Bitcoin. Now, good news is present, but as soon as Bitcoin, if Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin, right? It's not an if, because Bitcoin always corrects itself at least 50%. Look back in history, always at least 50%. How do you think MicroStrategy is going to react? That is the only reason that I like to encourage beginners that before they choose to buy at extreme overbought levels, to take that into consideration. For all you that are already in the green, that bought at 150, 200 per share, make your money. I wish you guys nothing but the best. I just hope that you lock in profits so you can set your future self up for more success. I appreciate your time. Hope that earned your thumbs up. Don't forget, if you want to tune on into my live trading session tomorrow, it breaks down to $1 a day with the current set we have going on, and it's the second link in the description down below. Yes, it is a one-time payment, lifetime access, and it's all inclusive. I appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.